Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everyone. So we're going to continue session today. Let me switch off the volume here. Okay. We're going to continue the session today with the second keynote of the day. So today as before, what we do basically, so for every keynote session, we're going to give one session from industry. And today we are quite basically happy to receive the CEO of RunCloud International and the CEO of Keynote, Senior Berhad. Both companies are tech company. One is on game and one is on cloud management system. Mr. Arif is currently the CEO, and he's also was listed under Forbes 30 under 30. So very hard to achieve things, and he's also just appointed as adjunct professor for UTM for his achievement. Other than that, I mean, you can read through his Forbes 30 description. I think I don't want to mention about anything about that, but yeah. So now let me give the floor to Arif for
screen.
the screen. You can get through this, but this one is live.
So I pull out this thing.
No, you want to directly
Yeah.
oh, right.
Or maybe this is more kind of bigger screen. No, direct.
Yeah, direct. Right. Okay, not bad.
Okay.
Okay, right. Now the floor is yours, Arif.
All right. How's everyone? How's the breakfast and everything, and how's the conference so far? Is it good? I believe that I met a lot of new friends from Japan. Prof. Steve got to know you that you're one of the top service in UK. Dr. Pandu spoke a lot good about you, and then my juniors. I realized that a few of my juniors from UTM came along. Few professors and doctors, and even like Dr. Pahan used to be my lecturer, and my supervisors is very good and very kind. And I think because last month I've been in the trip for like a complete 1 month to US and Europe for the few conferences until end of September. So I thought to Dr. Pan, yeah, I tried to look at first, because the moment I came back, there's 1 week me at home, then yeah, maybe this is like I want to understand how the IEEE kind of events and everything is. So far it's very great, and I think this is an opportunity for me to share the real experience as becoming from the students, and then graduates, and then do my own startups, and now in the growing company from a single product. And today's we are going to talk more about the user experience, the human computer interactions, the user experience, and how this user experience actually related towards like any other things, any perspective. Okay, so before I started, let introduce myself first. Okay, so my full name is basically Muhammad Arif bin Tukiman, and you can call me Arif, only Arif. And about today's discussion is all about to based on my develop a product, a software as a service, to manage cloud servers, which is very technical. And from coming from the technical background, I develop software, I develop systems, and even I develop games. So this is me. I'm not from a family background that full-fledged of computer science. I mean, computer people. I got to know about the first programming when I entered the program. And then I got to know that this programming language, this developer system, strike me out to explore things and beyond, and every single thing that I explore. So if you know, this is Chakwe. this is fried banana. And then after basically my dad used to selling like fried banana and chakwe on the streets. So then after I finished my high school, I cook burger like on the street. Then I went to diploma in UTM. So this is pretty much my, I think this, okay, right. This is pretty much my journey. I graduated in UTM as a computer science student, and I developed my first startup at Keynote Games. And then I jumped into a cloud company in 2015, till date, and started RunCloud until today. So I want to talk about how, as a technical person, and how to understand on the technical complexity in develop a good user experience for the end users, which is beginners also can understand. And yeah, this is pretty much my experience. I started to know the user experience from like 5 years old until the advanced users. Dr. Fan, I think we got a technical issue. Which I believe I'm not sure. Yeah, so yeah. So this is me. And graduate in UTM was graphic and multimedia software. And then I continue my study as a master degree in UTM. And then I started Pulput, which is my software company, which is a different games for kids that now over 3 billion downloads. And then I started RunCloud in early 2017, which is now we have the users over the 100+ countries, because US and UK is one of the top users. Yeah, 2020 has been recognized from the Forbes as young professors, and now becoming like industry advisory panels of universities in Malaysia. All right, so you can follow me on Twitter. You can connect me on LinkedIn, or you can check it out about myself at arif.tukiman.com. All right. Okay. So user experience. My junior, I want to make this, because we in this small room, try to make it like more interactive. And if you have any questions along the line, you can just ask. Okay. What do you understand on the user experience? Is basically my junior and used to intern at my company. What do you usually understand on the user experience? User experience, yeah, software, anything. Like, what do you understand on the user experience? How user interacts. Yeah, definitely. It's a simple, straightforward thing that basically how we interact and the experience, either the software or the hardware, even anything, even every single day we are interacting people. That are the user experience. And every single day we interacting our own smartphone and everything. I think the clicker is messed up a bit. I don't know, it's very lag. But this is the game I just want to show. It's very like this is how the user experience started. Put myself focus more towards develop a good user experience from the games, and then I apply how these reactions toward the complexity, like very technical software like RunCloud. And yeah, I went to Silicon Valley, and then like Startup World Cup, and then now in Malaysia we are one of the like top cloud enablers for any businesses wanted to use cloud, like AWS, Google Cloud, and simplify the process. And yeah, I think this thing I try to this thing, this is skip, or is it like they have the gesture?
No gesture.
No
I don't think there's a gesture.
Okay, it's like I just skip once and it skipping a lot for steps. It's okay. So cloud computing is the buzzword after the internet, right? And now blockchains, AI is becoming a thing, and most of the people that very non-techies that talk to me, what is exactly cloud? And some of them thinking that there's computers on the cloud. Literally, this is like 40-ish kind of. He himself, as one of the IT departments in the company, he even told me that, Arif, what is cloud? Is it like any wire on the cloud? So it means that many people don't understand what is exactly cloud, and some of them think this is just a cloud storage, and they use it, but they don't know how the fundamental works. And is it like, yeah, some people maybe understand this, like, is it like computers now can fly? And the cloud computing, I just want to start it with the fundamental of it. Because if you wanted to involve yourself in develop, let's say research something like you get the full fledged of the findings. And then how the findings, you can get the proof of concept. So even the proof of concept is the first layer to get understand on how you can develop your first SCI on top of it, which is the user experience. Public cloud now is basically half a trillion dollar, the market. I always say that every industry, even now, we are interacting with the cloud computing technology. The mobile phone, the mobile apps that you are using it. And it's a very like high demanding, even after pandemic is growing up. The cloud computing industry, the companies like us, like any other companies, even this hotel, they are using the cloud services. It's growing up. And every single year is piling up the growth. So this is where I try to make like understand a bit how this fundamental is basically important the moment we understand the historical of certain things, and then we know how to interact and develop a good user experience. Because I try to cover every perspective and every angle that related to the cloud computing that's very technical and complexity, and how to make it as a good user experience on it. AWS. So you know maybe Amazon Web Service, right? Amazon started with selling a book. Then Jeff Bezos started to realize that the internet is booming and the e-commerce is getting demanded, and everyone wanted to sell online after the eBay. Then you can see that starting from 2006, the moment he launched the first AWS, is like highly demanded. And it's growing, and then Google Cloud, and then Microsoft Azure started to follow the journey. Till now, it's growing. So how that industry nowadays wanted to use that, and even the software engineers, which is the students that graduated as a software engineers, if they don't know how the cloud computing works and how to deploy at the very beginning level of beginners, it's hard for them to catch up or to match with the destinies. Let's say the industries are using a Google Cloud. So these students know how to develop a system, and then they just host the system on the local host. Local host like like XAMPP, WAM, and then on the local machines, and then every final year project they develop very good system and then show to the panelists or to the lecturers and everything. But in industry, they don't know, they don't want to know about they just want to make sure that everything works on production. Right? They don't ask, okay, you develop and then on the local host, okay. So how you from the local host to develop on the production level? So this is where I've seen the gaps, which is even now, even a lot of my engineers doesn't understand about how even they confused. Is it Google Cloud and Google Drive is it the same thing? So this is very different. You get what I mean? So this is the thing where I try to make things very clear, which is the cloud computing is computing services, which is cloud storage like Google Drive is a part of computing services because it's very general. It's a technology. So server, storage, database, networking, software, AI, and a lot of things, right? And every single, even now, is being popularized about the cloud gaming. Can you imagine how immersed the cloud computing is going to be? All right. So traditional. When we going back, maybe Prof. Steve also understand on how that before the cloud computing, before the AWS or Google Cloud exists, it's all everything like the room or on-prem. Anyone here that ever experienced enter the server room? You need to like using maybe good jacket, right? The temperature is very cool, and then you can see like everything organized. Basically, that is the data center, and they make a layer on top of it, which is the interface for system admin to monitor and everything. Before, they need to like test on everything, like the wires. If they develop from scratch, this is going to be. And yeah, this is worse. Okay, I just want to ask a few things. This is the thing, and to create your own simple server rooms, what requires for a business or for a person to develop a complete functional server room? We need what? Okay, router, good electricity, what else? Good accounts. What else? 24/7 guard, maybe CCTV. What else? Anyone? Anyone knows like how to develop a simple server room? Safety. Okay. Maybe need to have a system admin to monitor, and basically many. All right. Electricity, good and stable internet connections. And you need to know maybe router, server rack. Basically, this is a foundation on how to set up your own server. So this is where before even the cloud computing is becoming a thing, like becoming highly demanded and easily to get your own server at low as $5. You can get your own server to subscribe. But to develop your own server room, maybe you need at least $50,000 to set up a room, to rent a room, and everything. So you can imagine that how the technology will simplify from the on-premise infrastructure as a service. Okay, infrastructure as a service. Give me one example. Infrastructure as a service. Who are the company that that deliver this kind of service? Infrastructure as a service. Yes. Exactly. Okay. Now you get it. So you know that infrastructure as a service is basically like Google Cloud. Any hosting companies that provide a data center, so anyone can just subscribe. So you now no need to think about to develop your own server room. Then use the infrastructure as a service. Platform as a service like Heroku, Netlify. It's basically the configuration part is done. The developer just think on the application layer to deploy. All right. Software as a service is every day that we use like what Google, Gmail. This is end users application. Netflix is the end user software as a service. So this is just a fundamental, which I will cover part of on how this a lot of technicality on the infrastructure as a service, which is many industries are using it, like AWS and everything, and make simplify in terms of the interface on the platform. Now we understand that the infrastructure as a service, you get more control in terms of the resources. And then the software as a service, less control means you just use the application. All right. So you get more control over the IT resources, which this, I want to cover that how even the beginners can interact with all the technical parts of it easily, and then they can develop their own application and deploy by themselves. All right, so to manage cloud servers, who are here that experience in interacting, let's say AWS, or deploy your first one server by your own? Anyone here? Oh, AWS. Azure. Okay, good. I don't know. Azure, this is they use the term still like instant, isn't it? Instant. So AWS is it. So DigitalOcean, Droplet. Every company they create their own terms like, for the VPS. So maybe you know how complex is it to configure even one server. All right, you need to install many dependencies. You need to install the firewall, the OS, and then let's say you want to just a simple PHP system. You need to install the PHP package and everything. All right, so many things need to consider. It's basically tedious work and critical and need the highly technical knowledge to handle that. So this is the problem. And this is how you going to work with. Interacting with terminal. Even if you ask any computer science that are very beginners, can you open the command line or terminal? They even don't know. What do you mean by terminal? Okay. They even don't know this exists. All right. They know how to maybe open the notepad or maybe the visual code and do coding. But when the deployment part, this is where I think every software engineers now need to understand on how to deploy their own software into the cloud. Need to understand, fundamental. Even some of you that do your own research and everything, and maybe you need to host your kind of research and system to make it work on production. You need to understand the fundamental works. So this is a bit more. I put it up here to get used to it. So you can see here a shell script to monitor the Linux server. So you get to know the IP servers and the total use, the RAM usage, the disk usage. So you need to run the command line. And mail, you need to remember every single command lines to run this thing, to show this thing everything. So when it comes to the maintenance part, this is basically a specific job to system admin. So now many small companies, they say they have developers. I can assure you, small companies, even the medium-sized company, they don't have the specific or exact role for system admin because mostly big enterprises. They have even specific role just to create the user roles. I have one friend that works at Maybank, which is bank. He is like security kind of role that create every single day the user privilege. Okay, this user can access what? Only that. So specific role. So the bigger corporates or bigger company is going to be very specific. But now, because of the cloud computing services are getting very easy to access for anyone, even individual or even freelancer can access, but they need how to configure is a problem because they don't have this kind of knowledge. So now, if you see this, beginners will say, what's that? Too complicated, I don't want to learn. If you show those maybe students, they will sleep. Even my friend that time, I still remember when I was a student, this is like OS subject. There's a lot of things that how the OS works and everything. My friends like sleep literally. So for the advanced users, they know how to use this, but they want to save time. They want to focus more other things. So all the technical part, if it can be automated, is good for them. All right. So now we learn how this very highly technical and very complex, and how we can identify and to solve in terms of the user experience to beginners. And also beginners mean they know how what is called how it works, but the process they don't know how. And the advanced users, they know how to do all the technical parts, but they want to save the time by using one. So this is my my software engineers. Every single holidays, oh okay, Hari Raya. So they make sure that everything's work. But the thing is, At what level? That is the engineers themselves need to trust his work. So how to monitor and how to manage? All right. So this is the thing that I believe every software engineers that interacting with the servers, this is more than maybe even every campaign, even for e-commerce businesses, this is something that they are very scared of. So now, AWS is one thing, is just infrastructure. They give you a fresh server. There's nothing inside. It's like you get the PC without any OS, anything. It's completely zero. You need to install yourself. So now the question is, how many people out there that know how to set up a computer to install everything? And even for server, they're very technical, how they can understand that. So this is complexity challenge. So now we going back. Cloud computing is basically a technology. Before even cloud computing exists, this is like traditional way. You need to deploy your own server room. You need to think even before, let's say, hey, maybe Dr. Fahan, we need to develop a live streaming website. So we were talking back then, maybe in 2000. Oh, okay, we need to have our own live streaming website because IEEE need to host one conference and everyone need to be at home and need to have the live streaming system. We need to develop that. Before even we go to the application discussion, how to develop, what the technology stacks need to use, then we think of, so we need to have server room, or we need to run a data center. Okay, how? So what is the server spec? What is the server room? Okay, how many people need to to access it? So means that we think on the before even develop the applications, we need to understand how the hosting part works, the server side works. It's very that maybe took just 1 month just to think about it. So now I already have experienced my team to develop a live streaming for live football in Malaysia within a week. All right, within a week, because they don't need to think about the cloud. They focus more on the productions, which is the application. Because many libraries that are already available, which is I think is a good platform for the end users. Okay, the complexity challenge. How to configure the cloud server. So now you already understand what is the cloud servers. So just to revisit that, the cloud servers example, which is AWS, Google Cloud, DigitalOcean, and anything. Or even the local hosting companies, maybe in Malaysia, very popular like Exabyte Server 3, maybe in your place, your own, maybe in UK, like there's so many other local hosting as well, like Kestrel and everything. How to deploy your application to my servers? Server is just a server. So how you want to deploy your proof of concept, your research on your cloud, or any system on how to deploy. This is questions because it's new. Even the developers, they know how to develop the applications. It's not guaranteed that they know how to deploy the system that they develop into the cloud. How to easily monitor multiple customers? This is also a question. They say you have one system that require maybe you prefer more to Google Cloud, very like they are one of the giant and maybe hyper cloud and very stable. And then for the testing project, maybe you just use the cheapest one in your local hosting. Maybe in here, maybe Exabyte, they have a few affordable price to start with. Even like DigitalOcean is also very, very cheap. So you have multiple servers. So now the question is, if you manage multiple cloud servers without thinking on having a tool to solve it, how to maintain that? Are you going to access one server every single day and check how it perform your application on the server? So you need to think one by one. So now this is the findings that the moment I want to solve my problems, because when I started RunCloud, before RunCloud, I'm running my own software companies. So when we run software companies as an agency, we develop many systems for our clients. So every client, they have their own preferred servers. Maybe this client wanted to deploy on AWS, on Azure, on Google Cloud, or maybe their own preferred servers and everything. So I have that problem. I have this problem. So what is the first need to the first time that I have to challenge myself to make it sure that I have many clients, I have many servers need to deploy, and I have many other things to maintain. So how this whole the technical process that I can simplify into a few clicks. So I realized that there are so many libraries, there are so many things that after I brainstorm and discuss with many hours with my CTO, so he managed to create one simple automation script, and everything is deployed. Means script. The next step, simple panel. So because my background used to be like more towards the product designs, and I used to be like the front-end developer, I developed a simple in 2016, the front-end part for the client. So I know what the technology stack that need to be. So now, because of that, I want to revisit this is the basic things, which maybe you have learned in the university, which is the HCI is basically now popularized with the UI UX, and the entire discipline of UX design is built on the foundation of the long established field of HCI. Means this is long established, and then the UI UX is becoming like a norm for every product development. So the product design, the process, and everything. So you need to understand it. The moment you understand it, it's easy for you to identify the process. Okay, now let's revisit. When we talk about the HCI, the best example, I already watched this presentation, I think more than 10 times. Because I love how the late Steve Jobs try to showcase something. Even the mini iPod from the pocket, and then the MacBook Air from the envelopes. It's so many things that we can learn from it in terms of the user experience. The user experience is not only for the software. Even the presentations is also the user experience. How you justify any complex thing into a very simple thing. So now, Steve Jobs shows that this is the current, what year this thing? Without Google, what year that you think on, and this is all about what? Maybe my friends, the stripe one. Oh, what year is this? The picture. This one, okay. The pink one. The pink. Yeah, it's the pink color, isn't it? Okay. What year? What? 2010. Anyone else? 2008. Okay, anyone else?
2007.
Yeah, exactly. So if you have like are you like iPhone users or also okay, then you know. Maybe. So if this is 2007 where the first launch of the iPhones. So this is basically how Steve Jobs want to. The current problem is the keypad, because 2007 the many business people wanted to use a smartphone to send email, to send an email. So they need to types. So they developed this keypad, which been very popular on BlackBerry. They launched on 2007, and Steve Jobs says this keypad was always there. Even you open the phone contacts, or even you open any apps that don't require the keypad, still there. So main it uses the space. Then they say, no, we need everything in the bigger screen. The more you need the keypad, then you use it. So now it's becoming every other industries, other players try to follow revolutions. User experience, you can reinvent. You can reinvent on the existing problems, you invent with the better user experience that can revolutionize. Okay, now next is this. What do you think? What car is this?
Maybe.
Dr. Fan, what car is this?
No, maybe.
Is it your car? Okay, what car? Try guess. What? Audi. Okay. Audi. Any others? Okay. I also don't know. But from my understand, this is maybe Lamborghini or something like that. Alright. I just pick up the average interior for cars. Okay. So we know that even myself, I have many these patterns. And I would say that maybe only 3% that I used to know for aircon, and maybe wiper, and then volume. Only that, okay? And maybe other thing is just there. Then we used to, okay, every single week want to wash our car, then make sure that everything clean, right? So the dust, everything. So why they need to be there? So there's this world that very confident that I want to challenge this. Oh, so they remove everything. They remove everything, literally everything, and one single big screen. Okay, so this is one of the revolutions. Clear functionalities, but overheavy. Clear. More modern and minimal approach, but is it good functionality? But now it's getting trend. There is a certain car makers, they make it like a bit hybrids that certain thing can touch and certain they try to minimize. Because the Tesla is becoming like many people wanted it, right? Maybe because of the trend, or maybe because of they want to support the zero net carbon, or maybe they want to save the earth. We don't know. But it's becoming a trend. So we need to identify that the moment we want to enter the user experience, like I want to make sure that every businesses and every software engineers can easily deploy without taking all the complexity of the cloud computing, how it works, easy to deploy. So this is just the example, which is from technical quality few clicks to few clicks. Try to make things simple, and now need to be modern and minimal. Dompet, our wallet. From the very thick, now you can see that Apple tried to make a stick on your back on your phone. It's a wallet. To put your 2 cards. And even you don't need wallet. You just use the Apple Pay, isn't it? So wallet is becoming like maybe you just put your national ID card and then So we need to think about what's the current trends that are people are the lifestyle and everything. And even for the technical part, it's also important how the technical people try to interact things. Because now I have seen many technical people, they just want to make sure things are work. And how they can develop more productivities by any repetitive task can be automated. So this is happened to me when I'm running my own software companies. I have my own problems just now. I have, let's say, 10 clients, and I have need to deploy 10 servers and then to manage and maintain all those cloud services. So I'm turning my real problem into simple solutions. I developed a simple automation script and then a simple panel. So you're turning a real problem into simple solutions. Then you identify if you think that, oh, my R&D, this is my R&D, my proof of concept, then I realized that after I introduced to 10 people, 8 over 10, they use my product. If this is good, right? So maybe you can turn into a product. The moment I have a simple panel that I introduce to one of the developer communities, like they have like 1,000-2,000 members in KL, I realize, wow, they have the same problem like me. The moment they want to manage their clients, they don't know how to manage their own servers, the client servers, and how to deploy them. So I realized that, oh, this can be a product. So I focus, and finally, I'm here. Now RunCloud, the solution being used by many developers and many businesses. Okay, so now the starting point is basically you need to identify the immediate pain points. Then today's work is basically how the pain points we can make it automated. Now even easier because you have the AI and how things that very repetitive that you can use the power of AI to solve your problems. All right, so a bit on this thing, I think we going through all the history of the cloud computing, and before the cloud computing, we develop our own server rooms, and to develop the server rooms to deploy that many other staff need to taking care of, and then how from those things then cloud computing, then the next basically focus more towards that the end users applications. From the end users applications, basically there's a lot of process need to think of. To recap a bit, is basically the problem that we identify when we want to use or leverage the power of cloud computing. Is basically you need to have specific skill sets. You need to identify this. Maybe this is not your expertise, but you need to use them because you have the system. Maybe you already everything your system you want to deploy, but you don't know how this process is going to be work. You need to understand the security part. You maybe need to think taking care of the stability, the issues on your application and servers, and maybe you need to hire the system admin, and then there's another extra parts that you need to invest. So it's very painful, it is work and critical. This is the 3 points that the moment I identify that's how I can tackle these pain points and becoming a good user experience. So now, because of this, my sharing today is like from the real experience. So there's now nothing that about my product. It's basically from the real experience how I can put it away that this is the experience, the real experience, and I put it away where how you guys think on the user experience and can apply to your own real project. From here, okay, so you have the problem and then you need to maintain, and then you need to interface this thing, which is maybe not your kind of cup of tea. Then I create a cloud platform enabler, which is a modern panel that can configure your servers and deployments. From this to web-based, that you can maintain the Alibaba Cloud, Google Cloud, AWS, and you can deploy any applications to the cloud. So this is technical, and then I simplify to do good user experience. So I turning a complex technical task into beginner-friendly process, which is even today, the moment I launched the RunCloud educations for a few universities in Malaysia, many computer science students, the moment they develop, because they develop many good systems for their final year project, and mostly they presented it on local host. Local host means on their own machines, so the panel can check like anywhere else. They maybe need to borrow your machine and then I can check. So means I ask one of like the faculty that maybe you can make this like required for them to deploy on cloud. So now there's a problem because they don't know. So then I realized the moment I put a very fundamental and how it works, they great at develop a system. They know how to deploy the system into, let's say, Google Cloud. So I try to make every beginner try to explore new things at the simplest way, and then they get to know that they want to understand how to set up a server from scratch. So the impact is create the interest. All right. Configuration, deployment, monitoring, and minimal. So from the share script to monitor your server, I create this one. I maybe say it very beautiful, very simple, very modern to monitor your server. All right. So to create any proof of concepts, maybe no need to think on the work factor yet. The moment you iterate your problems into the solutions, then you get to know how to create a wow factor in your user experience, and make sure that you create at the first place, because today's world, when we go back to 2000s, when there's a system, you just think on to solve your problem first, because there's no other system that they can solve it. The more you use that system, you focus on to solve your own problem or to solve business or any organizations. Use system to solve the problem. Then now, it's not about solving the problems anymore. Solving a problem is getting a mask, but what is user experience? It's like Android versus iOS. Maybe you prefer on the iOS, and maybe you prefer the Android. OS is preferable. But the user experience define that. It's not only about make a call. It's all about if that user experience good for me, I will stick for them. So how to maximize the user retention is basically, I will tell later on the product-led growth that we implement. I implement into the whole journey that whenever I do R&D or develop products. So just want to say that don't compromise the user experience and you forget anything about security. When you develop a system, when you develop a software as a service or any system, make sure that you comply and the security best practices is always at the top level. So when I develop, I'm making sure that every single processes is a compliance. So we are like GDPR and ISO, and also any product we develop for RunCloud, in making sure I try to this thing. This is the thing for the ISO. For next is basically I will share a little bit on the security part, but now just to share a little bit how it's work. Basically, you subscribe and get the IP servers and connect with RunCloud, and then you can deploy in minutes. And then it's basically you need to know why when you develop your own POC and everything, it should be to increase the productivity or to solve others problems. All right. So to configure a server, maybe you need hours, or maybe a day, or maybe beginners to understand on YouTube, maybe a week or maybe a month to attend courses. But I try to simplify everything. Is what within 15 minutes, everything done. So just a show. When I started, I tried to focus to grow with the good user experience that I have developed, and making sure that even though that I'm from Johor Bahru and try to at the day one I try to be a mindset, global mindset. Now that RunCloud be used for more than 100 plus countries, and US, UK, it's one of the top. And then 2021 WT Tax, we are Web Panel of the Year 2021. And then we becoming like the top 3 brand in the world. And this is the focus thing that I was taking care, make sure my teams always put the security is the important ones, and then making sure that all the basic and the necessity like 2FA, SSH authentications, the hashing part, the permission levels, everything. Network application security. So security is something that when you have the good experience, don't compromise the security layer. So it's very important still. So for SaaS, SaaS is basically software as a service. User experience is very important for good impact in product-led growth. What product-led growth? Product-led growth means we have the good product and people talk about your product. That's all. So how to create that? So it's not like product-led growth. You have the good product, then you get the users from Google ads, YouTube ads, Facebook ads, or digital ads. No, that is performance marketing. You need to invest and then you get the ROI. Product-led growth, you have good product, because of you have the good products, you get a very good organic. So I'm the person that always believe in the organic. If you have do your own research, how your research can be applied to many other segments that they require your POC. It's not that you are saying your own POC. Okay, right? So what's next? Is it AI? I don't know. So what's next for me? Like every single product, the new features is always AI. So I'm not sure what is coming up next after the AI. Maybe we just put our thought process and everything works. Maybe we don't know, right? So this is basically my team. Two of them is my co-founders. So we've been developing many products, including RunCloud. Been together since college time. So we used to develop many crazy things in the dorm, in the college. So Maximo and then Kevin Brooklyn from Yes. So yeah, because basically I try giving the initiative for the universities through the education segments to making sure that every students understand on how the cloud computing works. So road to become a global cloud practitioners through us, and then we have running last year the cloud summit in KL. We get a lot of tractions and then a lot of good activities, hackathon and everything, and more than 4,000 enrolled to our education to learn about the fundamental of cloud computing, and that's all about my journey. All right. So my vision is to make sure that every businesses in the world building the ecosystem for easy cloud deployments, and we have many communities and meetup across the Africa, US, UK, New York, and Jakarta, and any other countries. If you have any questions, just reach me out. All right. Thank you. All right. Any questions about anything related to the user experience, the product experience? Are you guys thinking on develop your own products and everything? Anyone? All right. What was your name? Abdul Rahim. Yes.
Hi. So I have two questions. The first one being, if you have clients that have like part of the infrastructure on cloud, part of it on-prem, how do you really manage?
Okay.
Yeah.
So this is where for the big organizations that have their own full-fledged data centers, and then for the application level, they wanted to use the power of cloud, which is the scalability. So cloud computing is all about flexibility and the scalability. So we call it, there is three types of the cloud computing. Is basically the private cloud, the hybrid cloud, and the public cloud. So those is basically the hybrid cloud. So those hybrid cloud is basically how you can internet those on-premise, and then you want to use the public cloud. So it's going to be like the hybrid cloud. So the most use case use the hybrid cloud for the big organization is because of the data integrity. So let's say database. So the database need to be on-prem in Malaysia, let's say. But the public cloud they use for the application layer, maybe on web platforms or the mobile apps, which is have the high traffics to interact with them. All right. So to answer your question, basically implementing the hybrid cloud approach. Yeah.
All right. Thanks so much. And my second question is, how do you know how much data are you showing on your, let's say, your monitoring platform? Is it like per client, or is it like something you already decide? Because one of my things when I was like a stock analyst, sometimes we don't have enough data. Sometimes we need to like go back to the raw data, which makes it even complicated just because whatever nice platform we have doesn't show it up. But how do you decide how much data do you actually show on your monitoring platform?
Okay, so when we talk about monitoring platforms, there's always a use case and segment, which is it the monitoring for the products behaviors, monitoring towards the business intelligence. So you as a software analyst, maybe you want to monitor the behavior of your product, the usage of the system and everything. So how to know is basically is you need to know first the traffics into your system, the applications, and then you need to understand, maybe to understand you basically you want to what is the specs for my servers that I need to use for this certain part. So you need to know, understand the traffics, and then you read the patterns of the CPU usage. So because the CPU usage is basically the heat, the application that the users that hit into your application. So understand the patterns. So basically, unlike RunCloud, we monitor the real-time usage, and so also you can monitor in yearly and the weekly of the patterns. So to identify that, we basically understand first the funnel from the traffics, and then see which time or which date that require or the spike resources, and then you know what is the server resources that's suitable for you. So is it answer your questions, or you need other things?
That's good.
Okay, all right. Anything? Maybe not about it. Maybe you want to ask about myself. All right.
Good morning, my name is Gilbert and I'm from the Philippines.
Oh,
And
Philippines. All right.
I heard you mentioned earlier that the prime focus should be probably the user experience and kidding and not putting aside the problem, but you gave emphasis on the user experience versus totally solving the problem. Can you elaborate more on that matter?
Okay, all right. So I give an example of when I look back at 2000, when we talk about let's say as simple as not taking app system to solve from using the paper that we can lose it, that we have like not taking app, the system that can store digitally, right? Means to solve the problem, I don't want to save my physical notes, I want to put it in digital. Okay, so means is it the user experience good or not? In 2000, back in 10 or 20 years ago, we focus on if this solve my problems, enough. Because there's no many other computers that maybe does that. Today's world, solving the problems is a must. Okay, not taking apps. So the moment we realize that the power of the smartphones, and then it becoming the iterate and everything, we can see literally that more than thousands of not apps in App Store or Google Play Store. It's solving the problem to store your notes digitally, but the user experience is you decide, isn't it? So means the company need to really making sure that user experience is sticky enough for you to stick and use the app. So now, problem solver, solving a problem is a must. You need to solve the problem, but you need to think beyond that. How this can be a good user experience for me or for the user. So now it's like solving problem is a must. Today's world, I'm taking at the real experience, which is every single thing that I put up on the public, it must be a good user experience. So then people are talking about it. Hey, I use this application, very good. You can, it's like there's a product led growth. It's very good. So recommend. It's like you recommend the best restaurants to your family, to your friends. You don't recommend any pet foods, right? Okay, all right. Any? Okay.
Hi Arif, I'm
All right.
Zee. Hi Arif, I'm Zee. Yeah, I mean it's really nice that you made everything simpler for the user to configure. So when I was looking at your short courses, right? it is like, how to say, if we go on the short courses for AWS, then we can roughly think that, okay, if I were to use another platform, of course the setting would be different, but it will be in like sort of like a similar thing. But like for a good user experience, I believe your configuration and everything has been way simplified by that, right? So they will not be able to use the experience that they have in your course with another cloud service platform.
Yeah.
Is that deduction correct?
Okay, so I try to fix few things. Basically, the course that I initiated, the modules that we create, is the objective, the clear mission to making sure that the beginners or fresh students to understand the existence and cloud and how it works. So they know the existence of AWS, Google Cloud, Alibaba Cloud, or many other cloud service providers that are available. So every single services, they have their own way on how to deploy your server on their own platform. Okay, create the EC2. Okay? That one is create the server. But the gap that I want to fill is basically the deployment process of your real system into production, which is like on AWS, Google Cloud, and everything. So the courses is basically filling the gap as a software engineers that understand and how and know how to develop a good system, which is programming language they know, and they don't know how to deploy their own projects or system to the cloud. So the course is basically to have that. So it's nothing, because RunCloud anyway is not infrastructure as a service. We just a control panel. Even if not RunCloud, even that course is not for RunCloud. That you need to use RunCloud. No, it's to leverage the power of computing knowledge to them. So what tools? Even we also recommend to other tools that this is also good for you to using and everything. So the more they understand process, so now the impact. Oh wow! I got a few students that apply for internship. Hey, I from your program and everything. Then my final year project, I'm using this, and then my panel is like, oh wow! So it's differentiates myself and other students. So this is the impact, right? So it's basically the moment they attracted to learn more about AWS. Even we suggest to them, okay, AWS is our digital learning partner. So you go to AWS, maybe you get a solution architect certifications. So they get a good job for them. So this is the thing. So we have them. Got it. Any questions? Any more questions? Any questions? My juniors and everything. Okay, no. What's your name? Maybe after this, Shang. Oh, I forgot your name. Oh, okay.
Hi, my name is Isa. I would like to know that you stated in the slide when users use your RunCloud, they need only 15 minutes, right?
Yeah.
And others need about 1 hour and more. How do you acknowledge the duration when users use your RunCloud only require 15 minutes? And how do you keep that promise even
okay.
users that?
I get it. Your question. So basically, I try to explain it with the user experience when it's manual. When you manual to configure your service, it's just you need to interact with all these jargon things. The manual way. You need to open the terminal, you need to create your own bash scripts, manual. So manual means everything manual. Everything you need to do your own script to deploy your service and installing everything. It's like a fresh PC, you need to install the OS. Then you need to install, and then what maybe antivirus, then you install, then what? You need to install Microsoft Office. It's like to create entire new setups PC. And it took time. So now it's basically
all these manual processes, behind these things, we use our own automation script and layers and everything, simplify. Just connect your IP server in a few clicks instead of need to write your own. Then everything behind the scenes be automated. Mean 50 minutes connection your server. I mean to RunCloud. I mean to panel, including the deployment to deploy your maybe system from GitHub or from GitLab, or maybe you want to deploy a simple the same as like WordPress, like that. So it's not comparing to others platform. It's comparing to the manual process, and then we develop solve that to I mean the interface of that, like the panel. Okay. Did I answer your questions? All right. Any other questions? If you have anything, maybe you can reach me out. I love to connect with you guys. If you guys have any other questions and you want to, and not really about these things, about other things also, I'm very open to talk with you guys. All right.
One question.
Okay.
So there are two things usually people talk about RunCloud. One is the user experience. I think you also did touch about the mobile app and so on. Another thing is about the security. Usually people go for RunCloud because of the easy and the what you call the secure platform of RunCloud. Since there are many security
exactly.
people here, maybe you talk a bit about
Yeah,
the security. Yeah.
So, like I said, every single thing whenever I venture into this segment, which is interactive with cloud computing, and we manage other servers and everything. First, data security. How to making sure that our users trust that we manage the servers for them. It's like in Malaysia, PDPA. It's like in Europe, maybe GDPR. So the compliance for me is number one. Making sure every processes, DPA and everything is compliant. So we done it. And then information security. When the moment we saw that many enterprise grade users are using our system, we making sure that we are complying to ISO, to making sure that this is the thing is we comply in terms of process and also technically behind the scenes. The deployment on the AWS, the deployment on the few things, and then the process is making sure that we comply on the ISO. And the other things on the application layers, like I mentioned, like SSH authentications, the hash, the permission level, the 2FA, on how even we have like SSH bot to store your SSH, and then to making sure that if we have like the collaborations, like you can collaborate your team members to manage your servers, and you can invite. So the invitation all is under ISO, which is we making sure that the privilege, the user privilege and the permissions levels is at secure. And even for the application layer, we use like the WAF setup and then the open port and a lot of things that have been taken care of. So this is so means that don't compromise the good user experience and you put away and you ignore about the security. Yeah. Any other maybe last question? I love to have questions. All right. No one else? Okay. I hope that you guys understand the sessions and you get to know about it. Maybe you guys allow all the researchers and everything. And I even, you know what? Yesterday, the woman I thought talking with Dr. Fahad, what are the topics from all the researchers? Yeah, so oh wow, XSS injections, AI security, and then certain like malware and everything. Those are basically the highly demanded on the cybersecurity services in my audience, which is we will manage 500,000 sites. And you can even say that not any businesses, when they develop systems sites, they put away the security of it. Even Prof already put the numbers of it, how people that not taking care about security. So this is where they started to realize, which, oh,
So this is the thing is very quiet, but I don't have a security teams. So this is a tool. Your findings and your research is very, very valuable for the products like industry like this. Questions? Repeat one. You from?
Okay, so my name is Joanne. So
Joanne.
I think good morning, Mr. Good afternoon, Mr. Arif.
All right.
So I'm just thinking like the RunCloud is actually providing a modern web server panel.
Yes.
So it means we need to have purchased our own web
server,
cloud
yes.
computing server before we connect them to the RunCloud.
Yes.
So out of the maybe Google Cloud, AWS, Alibaba Cloud, and also the
Any cloud
Azure
actually.
cloud.
Yes. Yeah.
So what types of the cloud computing that you will recommend?
Okay, good questions. For beginners to start with to explore the power of cloud computing. Correct. All right. So now, few example. If you want to start the most affordable and the good also user experience, AWS is like you enter. There's many buttons. And you can even literally like this is for what and everything. Even to deploy SQL Server is taking a lot of process on AWS. So maybe you can go up cloud or maybe DigitalOcean or maybe Vultr. This is not popular for average users, but developer communities, when you talk about DigitalOcean, Vultr is very popular, and you can start with at the price of 250. See this? This is what the monthly price is listing. If you want to go for AWS and everything, it's good if you at the scale. The production, the real, you need to stable a system, stable servers. So you can go AWS, which is triple or maybe the cost more for you. So maybe simple system, maybe you guys just need one CPU and then a half RAM or maybe 1 gig RAM or maybe 5. If you go with $5 per month, 1 gig RAM and 1 CPU. It's good for simple static size. That maybe like 5 or 10,000 traffic per month. Even simple system that maybe for your own research purposes, that not requires that just you and maybe your friends or your team members to assign the system is good enough. As long as you can deploy and making sure the system available. All right. Does it answer your questions? So I would say that UpCloud, Vultr, or DigitalOcean is a good to start with. Okay, DigitalOcean. So this is how the RunCloud looks like. This is my account. You can see. Yeah. So just basically the intention is to showcase how the complex to configure the cloud, and then with a sort. How to develop the user experience on top of it. The UpCloud from Finland. I'm going to meet the CEO basically tomorrow in Singapore. UpCloud. Yeah. So any other questions? All right, Abdul Rahim.
One last question. We're talking about security earlier.
All right.
And I'm talking about privacy. Is there a compromise towards privacy when you are using cloud instead of on-prem? Or are the laws or the regulations good enough nowadays?
All right. Okay. Very good questions, and it's also average questions for any other people or businesses whenever they wanted to move from on-prem to cloud. Data security, data integrity, on how secure my data, on how I can trust. So I would say that if you don't use any Google products, means you don't trust Google. Okay, maybe you sign up with any Google products. Okay, the moment you sign up, you agree at the term and service, TOS, or certain this with this data you can use for this one. Okay, same. Let's say you trust Google, so it's same as if you wanted to use Google Cloud. It's the same process. Because you already trust the brand, you use them. Now, security for the servers, for the infrastructures, you need to trust them because they already put a lot of investment, the good security of their data center and everything. The next part of it, the most important part is basically the application layers. your system. You don't say that, oh, my system hacked, oh, Google is not secure. No, right? It becomes your system is vulnerable. Maybe your system not patch any updates, or maybe you install outdated OS versions, or even if you have using any third-party extensions, very outdated. So those is the thing that application layer you need to think of. But you need to make sure that the application layer and the server layers, like the web application firewall, WAF, and I mean the whitelist of the IP servers, if you need to make sure that everything is secure, everything, right? So those is important. So you're making sure that the application layer, what level you need to making that your system secure. The code quality, if you do not the best code practices, your code can be injected and then hacked. So even that's why there's a lot of ransomware and things that right? Application layer. For me, it's like to answer your questions, trust wherever because there's so many. If you don't trust, then then maybe you think on the you as the end users that you have already used many applications. So if you do your own R&D or POC, making sure that your application layers, you implement the best practices your system. All right. Okay, that's fine. Any other last? Or
Any last questions, or we can?
our new list, Doctor from Samuel University yesterday. Dan ni Encik Din, tak ada soalan. You're right. I hope that you guys understand. My focus and my objective today is basically just want to share my experience. I want to meet you guys. I'm very, very happy. I was not expecting that, Doctor, is it okay? Then the one I first day, oh, so many good topics. And then I met a few people that, oh, wow, it's basically, I attend an event which is the researchers already think ahead 5 or 10 years of the technology, which is good for the industry. All right, and also maybe we not sure, maybe we not know that you guys becoming like a good kind of a community for the industry like us, because you are supporting research. R&D need to be continuous. It cannot be stopped. So it's a good part. All right.
Okay, thank you very much again for Mr. Arif Tukiman. Give him a big round of applause.
Thank you. Bye.
So Arif will be on his flight today. So if you got any questions, I think it's lunchtime, and we can pass him over lunch or email him.
Yeah, my flight is on 3:30.
Some of you already has his LinkedIn. Maybe you can ask him on LinkedIn and other platforms. Okay, I think that's it for this afternoon. We're going to continue later at around 2 p.m. For the next session.
All right. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. It's a